Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Square Eyes Syndrome. I'm Ben Gilman. As always, I'm joined by Tom Hill.
Hey.
Dan Rudge.
Hiya.
And last, but not, no, definitely last because he's a little Charm fan, is Troy Salmon.
Last and the best. Charm fans. Oh, day baby. Yeah.
No.
Continue.
In the bottom where you
At least he's proud of it. I mean, you gotta give him the commitment.
Somebody has
take
to
the piss out of him literally every episode for this, and he's like, represent.
Dan, in our defense, he deserves it.
I know.
Great.
I'm also giving him the props he does deserve.
Yeah, give him props. Give me them.
Because he's stuck to it. He's never going to say, no, I'm not a Charm fan. He's legitimately a Charm fan. He's a misguided child, but I will give him that.
This guy, how dare you?
We have bullied this boy for nearly 30 episodes about Charm.
That's true.
When you know something's the truth, it's the truth, man. Simple as that, you know what I mean? So something that's great as Charmed, you know, it has to be represented by someone. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus. So how are you guys doing? How is it?
Hey,
better than most of the world. Sorry?
Go on.
That's a hard question. Sorry, what did you say? Dan?
Hello?
Go on, Dan.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you for a second.
Did you say, how are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, we're leaving this in.
Okay, no, it's okay. Signal dropped out for a second. Yeah, so I thought you said that. So I said better than most of the leaders of the free world at this point.
Oh, yeah. Aren't we having a fun time with Trump and everybody else? Oh, boy. All right. So, yeah, I've had a squirrel use me as a tree this week.
Damn.
Yeah, a squirrel came up. I said hello, and he crawled up me and sat on my shoulder. It's quite cool.
The heck? Okay.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That never happened. All I wanted to do was take a picture, and it came up my leg thinking I had food, which I didn't. So I had to give it some crisps.
Well,
It came up on my back, and it's very polite.
I like it.
Oh, me too.
I've been playing an awful lot of Among Us this week. That's literally.
Oh, yes, I hear that so much around Among Us. I hear about it so much right now.
I'm not endorsing it because I'm being paid or anything at all. Like, just literally, it's taken up far too much of my time this week.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Dan. I just got paid by the developers. Cheers, man. Just my bank account just went ding ding. So I've got something. Oh shit! Well, I wasn't meant to say that on air, was I? Shit. So before I go in the cupboard in 2 weeks, because you guys are going to do True Blood, I've got a new noise. It's called a wooga. If you hear an awooga, that means wrap it up.
Okay.
It's a new game. Well, it's not a new game.
What?
It's basically trying to keep to the time slot. So we're going to try and...
You're turning into John Fashiono in Gladiators.
From Gladiators, yes. That's right. Now I've got this vision of every time John Fashiono sees a woman, a wooga. I don't know why. Wait, is it John Fashiono? Yeah.
John Fashiono hosts the Deal or No Deal in Nigeria.
Wait, he's Nigerian?
Deal or No Deal in Nigeria is hosted by John Fashiono. All of the boxes,
is it John Fashiono gay? Yes, he is.
No, his brother was gay.
Oh, yes, okay. Cool.
No, John Fashiono is not. John Fashiono was a quite notorious womanizer, allegedly. But yeah, all of the boxes, rather than it being contestants, there's one contestant on the Deal or No Deal in Nigeria, and all the boxes are held by women in bikinis. Quality.
I bet you stuttered back in Gladiators when he saw you ka. Put some clothes on. Yeah. Right, let's get on. Beginning. Right, so who wants to go first?
No, I'll go first.
Okay. Oh boy, and we are off. Let's
Troy, you
start.
should have kept saying nothing. We should have just left that with an awkward
I don't think-
silence.
it's like I sensed the silence and something just forced me to say something. Like, what happened? Damn it.
Oh, boy. This might be the most bumpy start to the syndrome ever, but go ahead, Troy. Let's just see how bad
No,
damage.
it's going to be quite straightforward, to be fair.
Does it have tits? Is what I want to know. Right.
Ages vary. Let's just say that. Sorry, Rally, Ben. Sorry, Rally.
I love it.
Oh, God. Okay. So let's kick this off now. Let's do it. Yes. With a bit of Netflix
Okay.
action right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a show that I've just finished it. Finished the season.
Hope so.
It's called Warrior Nun.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that?
Nun.
Yeah.
What fuck is that?
Is it spelled None or Nun?
Nun.
He's done it again, people. He's done it again.
What are you talking about? What the what?
Go on.
Warrior Nun. Okay, so it's based off like a little comic, so like a comic adaptation. So
Okay.
yeah, it's called Warrior Nun. So it's about these group of like child nuns in the church fighting evil, fighting demons, fighting spirits, and just trying to, you know what I'm saying, protect the Vatican, protect the world from evil. So literally, this show is so good. I was shocked. I was like, this show is going to be so trash. And I saw the trailers. And then when I started watching it, got better. Trust me. So it basically starts off in the nunnery. And there's a girl who's dead on the slab. And they open up this black bag. And this girl called Ava. There you go, Ava. I forgot her name. So Ava, played by Alba Baptista. She's a kind of like how you say basic protagonist, but the support cast is amazing. It's one of them ones again. It's almost like a Stargirl situation, but she builds up to it. She builds up to her own basically in the show. So it wasn't as bad as Stargirl. She does all right. She does a good job. She's great at the actress. She's got good comedy timing. She reminds me of like early Buffy in a way. Early just what's her name? Early what's the girl who stars Buffy again? What's her name again? Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
She reminds me of her, like an early version of her in a way. Obviously not as good, but yeah, she's amazing. So basically she gets this halo. So there's a special halo that's been around for generations. And once that halo is inserted into Ava, by mistake, because they want to hide it from these demons who's tracking it down.
Where is it inserted?
In her back. Right,
okay.
Right between the shoulder blades.
That's just how it was going to be. Okay.
But you said, where is it inserted? I was going to say a joke, but I was like, nah, I'll leave it. So.
That's where I come in, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for you to go in there, man. You didn't pull the trigger, so I was like, okay. So it's in base of her back, and then it literally starts glowing. These powers just happen. She can phase through walls. She can do force field attacks. It's insane, literally. Does
it reveal that she's Kitty Pryde and Invisible Woman's?
I'd say so. A little bit of a Kitty Pryde thing. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you got a point.
Good. I'm on it today. All right,
you're on it. I like that. So yeah, so it's basically based in Spain. Obviously, because that's basically like a version of like the Vatican down there. It's like their version of like a massive church in Spain, and they go back and forth from like Italy and Spain sometimes. So I love the world building. The world building in the show is awesome, and they've got other characters in there. There's a black girl called Shotgun Mary. She's like literally the co-star. She's really amazing as well. She carries around shotguns, as you were named, Shotgun Mary. But she's not technically a nun, but she's part of the nun society because she's hired more of like a mercenary type in the show to kind of keep things ticking over, does the dirty jobs that no one wants to do, take people out that people are basically don't want to be seen as doing as a nunnery, you know what I'm saying? Part of the church.
Okay, so she's like the lawful neutral character.
Yeah. So she's like
the Punisher.
Yeah, she's the Punisher, yeah. But at the same time, she's got like a moral compass at times, you know what I'm saying, when it really needs to be done. She's the one getting stuff done, you know what I mean? But people are pussyfooting around, you know what I mean? So, yeah, she's literally my favorite character of the show. She's amazing.
I want to see the show with her in it. That sounds a lot.
Mary is amazing, so I'm going to say. But you've got some good characters around there, because Sister Lilith, Beatrice, because Sister Lilith is literally like a savage Ava, like she's just reversed. She's like the reverse Flash to Ava's Flash, if you know what I mean. Sister Lilith is, but she's on the side of good, but at the same time, she's kind of has an evil streak in her because she wanted the halo that Ava got because she was supposed to be the next in line to get it. Whenever the original user dies, it's supposed to be passed on. So Lilith was supposed to be the one next up, but she didn't get it because it went to Ava by mistake. So she was ticked off. She's all constantly trying to fight Ava or she's trying to stop Shotgun Mary because Shotgun Mary's trying to protect Ava. So all this stuff is intertwining and the demon. Oh my gosh! And so much. The plot is awesome. The plot is actually awesome. There's a great twist towards the end as well, which I love.
The Pope's the bad guy.
The Pope's literally the Pope. You see the Pope and you're like, oh my days, it's gonna be the Pope, isn't it?
So it's the warrior nun versus child molesters from the Vatican, or is there a bad guy behind it?
There's nothing about no child molesters in there, so nothing about that. Thank goodness.
Demons and ghosts and monsters and
yes,
devils.
That's what I would call the Pope anyway.
Extra-dimensional threats. And you have to find the MacGuffin all the time, and there's a new power that gets revealed because suddenly the old power wasn't enough anymore. And
I love the way
I can write this in my sleep.
I love it. Put that down. I love it. But yeah, literally the usual stuff that you see in like a stuff like this, with powers and stuff like that. But they do this power sparingly, which I like. And Shotgun Mary is kind of like the teacher to Ava in a way. She's teaching her how to use abilities, and Beatrice is another one who kind of helps out a bit. And she's got a little bit of a past. So I'll say this is a really good show. Really good show to watch. Especially if you like stuff like this, like supernatural shows. I love my supernatural shows. I love them. Supernatural powers, I'm there. Demons, angels, I'm there. So that's my pick for the first one.
All right,
a bit of a solid start right there. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it easy, keeping it light.
I would just like to add 93% on IGM.
Oh,
he's picked actually a decent one. I'm shocked too.
Hey, check it out, man. Check out Netflix show. Hitting out the park right now. Awesome.
Maybe Square Eye Syndrome will represent Troy's opinions if this keeps happening.
Oh, what are you talking about? See, these guys, the disrespect.
One day.
Great picks.
Always handing that, just showing that brass ring there, Ben.
I know, innit? You see it? Vince McMahon out here. Look at him, Vince McMahon looking at
Reach for it.
Yeah, I'm reaching for the battery. It's just a glass ceiling on the breadfruit, yo.
Stretch for it. I'm just going to move it back.
He's going to bring out the Kiss My Ass Club now.
No. If I know one of my gay friends would have set up a suck my dick club. That's not me.
Oh my gosh!
No, why would you want to kiss a guy's ass anyway? I never got. Anyway,
they'd probably have a fun life.
Well, yeah. There's 10 episodes.
The face.
Go on, Ben. What you gonna say?
Hey, Troy. We apologize.
No, that's all right. So it's a fantasy drama, supernatural show. So 10 episodes, 1 season. Hey, it's been renewed for a 2nd season as well, guys. So check it out.
All right.
Very popular, very popular. So,
Troy, before you go into your second pick, I just want to say, if you do find any of these picks, like if you like them, if you check them out, if you like anything about what we're saying, please do remember to subscribe.
Yes.
Because we
subscribe,
do like
share, and
we
also
love the views, we love the likes.
We are seeing you watching
subscribe.
us, so hit that big red button. It's not a panic alarm. It's so that you can find us all the time. We know you're watching.
Videos, you're sitting down, you're not doing anything else. Do what you need to do and help us out. Subscribe, follow the movement. Let's go.
We don't even hate America. We know most of you are American, so come on. Right, anyway.
Come on, man. Support your support. So that's my first pick. And
support your motherland.
So I've watched a couple of episodes of this show, by the way, so I haven't finished it yet. I'm about to. But it's a show actually a lot of people have probably heard of. HBO out here. It's going to HBO. Going to another part of America right now.
Okay.
Lovecraft Country. So
I've heard of this. I've heard of this. This is supposed to be really good.
My gosh, when I saw the first episode, literally last night, I was spamming through the episodes and I was like, my gosh, I love this show. I actually love this show. There's only a few episodes in. I love it. So,
I have some issues with championing Lovecraft because of personal power.
Yeah,
but you do have to admit, as a world builder and as a mythology creator, there aren't many that come even close.
He's pinnacle. He's the pinnacle of like anything to do with sci-fi, any kind of like space god, space Jesus type of agenda storyline. He's the king.
I honestly think that time will tell Neil Gaiman better.
Oh no! I don't know.
I honestly believe Neil Gaiman will take that title given the time.
Given the time, yes, but in terms of like just pure lore, I think Lovecraft. His kind of stuff is weird, kind of like body horror type stuff. I love that stuff. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a personal opinion of mine. I love Lovecraft stuff. Obviously, the personal opinion is aside of like true life and all that. Story wise, king for me. But I love Neil Gaiman.
All right.
By far, I love Neil Gaiman. But
yeah.
So Lovecraft Country. So this is a more of a racial-based show as well. At the same time as the sci-fi elements. So it's a mixture of both. More like in the segregated 1950s where it's set in America. So you have this young guy who's literally played by who's he played at? Jonathan Major. Okay, so this main character. See, he's the main character. By the way, I've just found this out. He's gonna be Kang the Conqueror in the Ant-Man sequel. I was like, what? He's gonna be Kang the Conqueror, bro. But before we get into all that, this is this storyline right now. So he is gonna look for his father. His father apparently is in a place called Lovecraft Country, where all this mad stuff is happening, and he's trying to basically brings his Uncle George, his friend called Letitia Lewis, played by Journey Smollett. Anyone knows about Jussie Smollett, the actor who plays in Empire. This is his sister. She stars the show as well. So they go through rural America, and obviously, as you know, racial stuff occurs. They're obviously getting chased by a white man, all that stuff. They're getting chased. They're getting attacked.
White men.
Yeah. The usual stuff you see in the 50s.
Oh, fucking assholes that we are.
Yeah. You know about stuff in the 50s, yeah. So, especially that part of America. My God.
Current events, pertinent topics.
Especially current events even now. This kind of show coming out right now, especially these kind of like racial tensions right now. But yeah, continuing about H.P. Lovecraft. So the main character, he loves H.P. Lovecraft as well. So that's kind of the tie-in as well. There's a place called Lovecraft Country, and he loves H.P. Lovecraft. He loves reading his stories. It even starts off with him just dreaming of the world building that H.P. Lovecraft has done, and he's like dreaming of being in an alien movie or trying to stop these alien threats from coming into reality, stuff like that. So he's dreaming about that stuff before this even happens. So then basically they get taken by these group of cops. They get harassed, and at the same time, they go, get down the ground. They go on the ground. They say, officer, we haven't done anything wrong. Obviously, all of a sudden you see this massive creature just attacking the cops, biting them, and the cops start to transform into these mad creatures. Oh my gosh.
Cthulhu.
Oh, I would say Cthulhu. Cthulhu is more like a ocean creature, but they're types of creatures like that. You know what I'm saying? They're types of like Lovecraft type creatures. Because he's got tons of them. There's tons of variations of them, like the Necronomicon, all that lore and stuff like that. But hey, you can just go into that all day. But I could easily go into that.
The great old ones are merely the tip.
Yeah, the old ones. Ooh, stuff like the old ones. Hey, I could go into that all day. What to do with that? But I'm gonna keep it simple. So then basically there's the creature with like eyes all over its body, and it just takes the heads of all these guys and munches this guy's shoulder. So it munches this guy's shoulder, and he just literally, it's like a vampiric form, and he just tries to transform to this type of man werewolf, half alien type creature, and it looks awesome. I was like, this show is amazing. I've even got like, I just said the old ones. So you got this white woman, blonde hair, blue eyes. She's kind of like a witch, a sorcerer type of character in the show. So she's gonna be like a main character in it at some point. She's literally a recurring character you see from time to time. Throughout the first couple episodes that I saw, and she's helping them out. She's helping the black people out. Because apparently, this is a twist. I don't know if I should say it.
Don't.
But yeah. It's this. Okay, so it's about to twist.
This is actually one of those shows that people ought to go.
Yes, exactly. So I won't say it. I won't spoil it. But she helps them out for reasons that you'll find out later in the show, or even like a couple of episodes in, to be fair. And they need him to like activate this kind of device. So I'm gonna say, if I go into this show can get deep, so I ain't gonna go too far into So she's kind of like the Jean Grey of the show. She's got like telekinesis and she can like.
But she's better. She's a better actor than Sophie Turner, right?
Yes, she is.
Thank thy Lord.
She's great. She's a great actress. I'm looking at her, I'm like, she's gorgeous. I'm gonna like, she's flipping gorgeous. But yeah. So he's got stuff like that kicking off at the same time. Family issues going on at the same time. You got the racial stuff kicking off. So it's amazing, man. This show is really good, and it's another type of almost like a supernatural-ish type of show, sci-fi, supernatural horror. So you got all that kind of blended in as well. So HBO stuff. Some say, what else can I say about this show? Because this show is really good. Because if I say any more, it's going to spoil it. Because I could go all day with this show. So you got possessions, you got creatures, you got human horrors. You know what I'm saying? You got literally body horror. You got all sorts, man. You got all sorts in this show. You can't go wrong if you love anything to do with horror, even just thriller stuff, man. You got dark secrets. Hey, you got suspension. You got all that, man. Fictions. Hey, this is for you. Lovecraft Country, it's for you. No doubt.
All right.
That's what I'm going to say on these matters right now. But at the same time, before I finish, let me do a quick rundown. So I did talk about the 100 at one point. So I'm going to finish this off. So I just finished off the 100. Anyone heard of the 100? You've heard of the 100, haven't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That ending, though, the way they ended that show, whew, very divisive. Very divisive. Because anyone seen Childhood's End? Anyone seen that show?
No.
That mini series. Has anyone heard of it or seen it?
I don't believe so.
Oh my days, Childhood's End. Oh, that's another show I need to talk about. Childhood's End. That's another one. I'm gonna bring it up at some point. Childhood's End. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out because Childhood's End, it has almost like this space, God, where it has like this conscious hive mind where humanity gets raptured. It's almost like a rapture storyline how they ended 100. And I was like, Clark, the main character, she does all this questionable stuff and literally she gets left behind and her friends get raptured and she literally the only one left because she gets found wanting and they said, oh, no, you're too evil, you can't rapture with us, blah, 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 you have to stay down here. So then her friends leave a virtual alien paradise to kind of live the rest of humanity because that's the rest of humanity left. There's about 10 or 15 of them left. And that's humanity literally done. After they're dead, they can't have any kids. That's the rule. They can't have any kids or anything. So that's the end of humanity wiped out. So that ending was crazy of the 100. But yeah, that's my little update on the 100, guys. That's me done.
All right.
It's insane, trust me.
We didn't even get an awooga.
No.
All right. Well done, Troy.
Woo, did it just in time.
And off the back of that, I'd like to go second if nobody minds.
Oh, ready?
Yeah.
It's Tom is
All
alive. Okay, Tom. I thought Tom had gone into unconsciousness.
No, I'm here.
Good to know. Okay, go for it, Tom. Dan. Yeah, Dan, definitely.
So, just because there has been this kind of fantasy theme that's run through what Troy's been doing, my first choice also carries on with that fantasy theme. This isn't a show I've seen all of. In fact, I only actually started watching it this week at after a lot of pressure from my friend the ghost, Sammy. We've had on one episode before. She has been on at me to watch this show for a while because it contains a lot of plot line hook things that I would like and stuff like that.
Is she present again?
Hmm?
Is she present with you right now? Is she haunted?
No, she isn't present with me right now. I will not be visited by her until I believe Saturday.
At least she tells you when she's coming to haunt the apartment. That's quite nice of her.
Yeah, she has to. I've got to get the commander decks ready.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, she has been after me watching this for a while, and I checked it out, and I was pleasantly surprised because it sounded like your average fare, and in some ways it is, but it's just nicely done if you like that kind of thing, and I do. It's on Crunchyroll. It's an anime called Black Clover.
Oh.
You have now officially taken Troy's spot. Is that the one with the really annoying I tried to watch this because the main character kept screaming, and I just checked out.
I kid you not, I've wanted to watch the show, but I've never got around to watching it because people keep telling me it's good. Some people say it's not good, so I'm like, I don't know.
Literally, I've barely mentioned the show, and Ben has picked out the absolute worst feature of the entire show and chosen to highlight it.
Yeah.
I've heard he gets better, but the thing is, at the beginning of the show, if a character's really annoying, the main character's really, really annoying, that will put me off because that's the main character. And I tried to watch 2 or 3 episodes, and he was just screaming all the time like a kid in a supermarket.
This is a much more this is not a Western tropes focused show.
Yeah, that's why
this is a very Eastern tropes focused show, and that character is a very normal beginning for a character in this kind of show.
Yeah,
completely hot-headed, completely overzealous, over-optimistic, and somehow gets away with it.
Yeah.
But this one, it does it a little bit differently. The beginning of the show begins with this history of the land that you're in. And in the history of the land that you're in, it was at one point in this massive amount of danger from the demons.
Yeah.
And everybody thought that humanity was completely lost. And then one single mage just completely dominated all the demons and wiped them the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right? And he was given the title the Wizard King. And apart from the king, he was the most politically powerful person in the entire land.
Yeah.
And everyone in the land is supposed to have magical powers. A little bit like in My Hero Academia, everyone's supposed to have superpowers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone is supposed to be able to at least manage to deal with one kind of magic. And at your coming of age, you get a grimoire, which then amplifies your magical potential.
Okay.
And then we get into the character beginning storylines, where 2 foundlings are left on the same night in a rural poor village at the steps of a church. They're obviously not like brothers or identical twins or anything, but they are dressed in the same kind of clothes, and their clothes are stitched with names on them. One's called Yuno, and the other's called Asta.
Oh, okay.
And they're taken in by the priest and by the nun that live there, and them and some other foundlings are all brought up under the roof of the church. And it's quite a nice little rural pastoral, poor. They're always having to go and beg other places for more potatoes. It's like a running joke.
Okay.
And people travel around on broomsticks. They just click their fingers and there's a flame, or there's a tornado, or there's a ball of water, or or they can mold the earth or something. And this happens from quite an early age. And who is the dark-haired, serious, prone to tears, sensitive, quiet one.
Yeah.
Shows a remarkable proficiency for magic.
Those ones. Okay.
Right. And Asta, who is the sort of greyish blonde, loud, really overzealous, I'm gonna be the fucking best and nothing can fucking stop me. Rah!
It's basically Naruto Sasuke's type relationship from the beginning of Naruto.
The best.
He has absolutely no magic. None whatsoever. And he tries his absolute hardest to train his body into reaching some kind of physical peak, at which point his magic's going to it's going to click in. And it's not happening, and it's far too late, and he should have developed something by now, and everyone laughs at him, and everyone's like this deluded fool. And the grimoire ceremony comes up. And something I didn't mention about grimoires is the Wizard King guy. His grimoire was a 4-leaf clover emblem on it. Most people get a 3-leaf clover, which signifies that you have enough magical potential. The 4-leaf clover has an insane amount of good luck applied to it, which basically increases magical potential.
Yeah.
And when the grimoire ceremony happens, gets a 4-leaf clover grimoire, which does not happen. And Asta gets nothing at all.
Mm.
And then almost immediately afterwards, Asta's going like, what the hell's going on with my life? What am I doing? And he's like re-resolving himself that he's going to try again. And no matter how long it takes, he's going to manage to achieve his goal of getting a grimoire and becoming the Wizard King. Because then he can make life better for everyone.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Yuno's getting ambushed by someone who used to be in like the premier magical group, the Magic Knights.
Yeah.
And is now a thief of grimoires.
What?
Because there's a collector's market for them. And because this is a 4-leaf clover grimoire that's just been given to someone who's completely new, regardless of how powerful or how talented he is, the fact that he doesn't have the experience means he's still an easy target. And so he gets targeted by this guy who uses some kind of chain magic. Mainly uses wind, air magic. This guy uses...
I use wind. As my wife will tell you, I'm a good king of farters. That's my magic. I'm a magician of wind. Sorry, that joke didn't work. Sorry.
I'm just trying to
That's a failure.
Wow.
What kind of thaumaturgist kind of title would you apply to someone who used farts as magic? Answers in the comments, please.
Sorry.
So this guy uses a kind of chain magic. Mainly uses air magic.
Yeah.
And this guy basically attacks some snobs who were butthurt that they didn't get as good a grimoire as this peasant while they were on their way to attack the peasant.
Yeah.
And then he himself chains them and up and steals the grimoire. And Asta realizes this is happening and turns up to help and initially just gets his ass kicked by the guy who can wield chain magic. And he taunts him by saying, by the way, my chains can read magical potential and you literally have 0.
Oh, wow.
And he's like on the verge of giving up. And the whole way through up until this point, has not even been friendly to him, despite the fact that it's commonly acknowledged that they used to be inseparable. Yeah. And whenever Asta's claiming that is his rival, isn't even responding to this. And he's doing it like really boldly and desperately, and it's not happening. And he's about to give up, and says, actually, no, he's my rival. You're not going to get rid of him that easily. And he goes, yeah, and he gets a resurgence in himself. And at that point, he gets a grimoire, which has a 5-leaf clover on it. Though not many people can make it out because it's really, it's really grimy and like it looks decrepit.
Damn.
But it has a 5-leaf clover on it, and in the 5th leaf on a 5-leaf clover in a grimoire resides a demon.
Oh.
And this demon grants Asta the ability to get this sword out of the book. This sort of Buster sword looking thing.
Yeah.
But it's black and it's supposed to look, I think, old and like, I don't know, maybe evil, maybe not, but certainly dark.
Yeah.
Like those are the main characteristics of this sword. It's a big and old and dark, sharp blade, like a Buster sword from Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy VII.
Ichigo blade.
Like what was his name? Siegfried in Soul Calibur.
Oh, Siegfried, yeah.
Massive just two-handed sword, but he holds it like two-handed and one-handed at different points, and it's just And with this, he basically cuts through the chains and defeats this thief. And this is the beginning of this entire saga. They're going on to try and join the Magic Knights, which, from what I have seen, spoilers, they make it into the Magic Knights.
Yeah.
I'll leave it how they do that and how that happens and all of that to people who want to watch it, because it's actually worth watching.
I like the Irish element. I love that. The Clover stuff. I love that stuff.
This is what I said. I've heard from a lot of people that I should go back and watch it because it does get better.
That was like my hero. That's Ichigo was weird. Yeah, I liked it.
I haven't got very far with it. I don't know where it goes. I've seen snippets of much further along episodes, but not enough to make sense of where this storyline's going.
Yeah.
It's really good. Go watch it. It's on Crunchyroll. And also go read it if you want to go read it, because it's also a manga.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
Black Clover.
And now we're going to have a change of focus, a change of topic.
I will got announcement. Keep it short.
What's the Awuga announcement?
Okay. Basically, how long do you need for the next one?
Well, it depends. It's Walking with Dinosaurs.
Oh, Walking with Dinosaurs! I got the whole box
set.
I remember this. This is nostalgia.
Walking with Dinosaurs, love it.
Yeah, because like it was around that time, that like 1999, like turn of the millennium kind of time, and like Doctor Who was just coming into being a dominant force in British television again. And the other thing that was really dominating British television at that time that everyone could agree was just brilliant were these nature documentaries that the BBC were putting out. We had The Blue Planet, which came out, which was absolutely amazing. And then they started teasing that they were going to do a prehistoric one.
Yes.
And then they started showing all of these CGI advancements that they were doing at the time, which were completely groundbreaking. And literally, even watching it now, and I've been watching it today to get ready for the podcast, it's astonishing. it's amazing.
Dan, did you know what? I I used to collect them, from the magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got the dinosaur.
I got all of them. I got them right here. It's crazy.
I got the dinosaur as well.
I got all of them.
Does the CGI still hold up? Does the CGI still hold up?
Still pretty good.
No, seriously, 100% it still holds up. Like there are bits where you can tell that there's stuff that still needs to be done, but it's mostly like larger crowd scenes where they're struggling with perspective and distance and how much detail to put into a shot.
Yeah.
And the reason for that issue is because our picture quality has even gotten better since then.
Yeah.
But even at that point, like those details, I had to go looking, because at the beginning I was like, just wow, this is amazing, and then I was like, no, I have to be critical about this. I have to find these, if they exist, because I have to be accurate about it, and I had to go looking for it. I had to be nitpicky about it. It holds the Guinness World Record for the most expensive documentary series per minute ever produced.
Wow.
I watched the one which was narrated by Kenneth Branagh, which I think would have been the one that you guys watched as well.
Yeah. Go on. I think we go back and watch. I got this massive disc case. I've got.
But for anyone who is in our American audience, you may have seen the one that was narrated by Ben Stiller.
Oh dear God!
Which I'm a bit jealous of that, to be honest. So.
Oh yes, no, I have heard a bit of that. Yes.
And that was for Prehistoric Planet.
Yes.
Which was it's the same thing. We also have an amazing score for that documentary, which was done by Ben Bartlett.
Wow, it's a popular
Walking
thing.
with Dinosaurs, Vera, The Tunnel, Lucky Man. He's done a lot of stuff that's been like some of the top British TV music scores.
Yeah. that score is amazing. I've got to admit, that score is awesome.
It's brilliant. Yeah, like it. I don't know where you would get it because I have it on DVD.
Yeah, same.
Me
But like literally, you'll probably find it in a DVD store if you can't find it anywhere online. There are still places selling DVDs, and this will be one of the ones that they'll still be pumping out because there will always be a demand for this series. There isn't anything which has topped that since then, other than things which add to it. Like, what was it? Walking with Beasts?
Walking with Beasts, yes.
Was it? Or
I think it was
I don't
Walking
know
with
if
Beasts.
it's Walking with Monsters or Walking with Beasts or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's also just found the episodes on YouTube. So if you're trying to find the DVDs, you can always go to YouTube.
there you go. Easiest solution.
Yeah. Man, you've made me fucking nostalgic, Dan.
Flipping love that. That was a
Thank you very much.
Great pick.
Can I I'm just going to finish off. It's not just us that love it. It received absolutely phenomenal critical acclaim.
It did.
It won 2 BAFTA awards. It won 3 Emmys, and it won a Peabody Award.
Ooh,
Yep, it began a franchise and was followed by 2 additional miniseries, along with lots of spin-offs and TV specials, a live theatrical show, and a feature film of the same name. Like, for a documentary series, it really did break some new ground. And that's all I have to say about that.
I still think the Land Before Time series is the best thing with dinosaurs in it.
Land Before Time.
Not even Jurassic Park,
I agree.
There was too many of them, but my God, I love them. Right.
Dan, you just reminded me of another pick I'm going to choose soon. Okay, you've just kind of inspired me to do one. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Tom, do you want to come up? You've been so quiet in the background, we forgot you were here.
Yeah, no, I've been just listening. These guys have been so passionate about what they're talking about. And I don't know the shows particularly well, so I don't want to disturb them on it, you know?
I'm just trying to get joking. That's what I do.
Yeah, but the fact that these shows are obviously things that they're truly passionate about, I want to sit back and listen to why they're passionate about them. It gives me a reason to go and watch them. If they can sell it to me, which is what I think part of this is about, is selling our picks to the rest of us. So yeah, that's why I've been quite quiet. Just no other reason. I've just literally been enjoying listening to you guys talk about stuff.
Right, bro. I do that sometimes as well. I'm just like, I just want to hear the greatness.
I'm officially the joker now. Right, I know my role. I'm the guy that will put sex innuendos in somewhere. That's fine. I'm good with that. I can appreciate your shows.
You're the inappropriate comments dude.
Yeah.
I'm John Barrowman of this podcast.
Oh no!
Don't put yourself down, man.
Here we go.
I
I
wouldn't be that harsh. I really wouldn't.
Thomas, you're up.
So is it on me now? Okay. Well, I'm going to keep it fairly quick this week. I've kind of gone back a bit in time to something. Now, the thing I'm going to talk about on both of my picks are adaptations of really good books. And I've done this before. I've spoken about books. But and I've said this before, it's really difficult to adapt a book well. And there are 2 writers who I think is actually very tricky to do it with. The first one is a guy called Tom Sharp.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how many of you guys know Tom Sharp. I know Dan does.
I know Tom Sharp.
Tom Sharp he was a Cambridge graduate. He lived in Cambridge and he lived in apartheid
Peterhouse.
Was he Peterhouse? No, I don't think so.
He was actually Peterhouse.
So he's not Pat Sharp's brother, no?
No.
Okay,
No. But anyway, this guy, he was middle-class white guy who marched with the people against apartheid in South Africa until he got thrown out by the establishment. Things like that. So he's but he's also one of the best satirical writers in the world.
Yeah.
He's written
Ever.
loads of books that are the funniest thing on earth if it's your kind of humor. But they're virtually impossible to adapt, and there's only been a couple of attempts ever made. And one of them is a book that you might have heard of as a TV show called Porterhouse Blue.
Ooh.
Don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's available on All 4. Channel 4 were the ones who put it out years ago. And they've still got it on their system.
Porterhouse Blue.
Say that again.
What's that? Porterhouse Blue. So basically, what I'll give you a quick background. Is it's set in Cambridge. It's set in the University of Cambridge at one of the colleges, at a college called Porterhouse, which is essentially a shot at Peterhouse, because it's all about how this college is all about excess and eating swans and duck liver pate and how all of the fellows are totally out of touch with reality and all this. It's brilliant, and they're all ridiculous characters, and and it follows kind of 2 or 3 of the students at the school as well as the actions of.
Wait a second. Wait, it's coming back to me.
Yeah, do you know it?
I think I know. I think I've seen it. I think I have.
You might have done the TV. This adaptation is brilliant. The book is better.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
It's a dry, witty TV show.
Yeah, I think it's coming back to me now.
But yeah, so basically, it's got within the cast. The main character is played by David Jason, and he's the porter. And if you've ever been to an Oxbridge college, the porters, especially in the older colleges, are very proprietorial, and they're absolute arseholes towards anyone. You so much as cough near the greens and they'll can throw you out kind of level. And
you have to basically treat them like currently nursing mother bears.
Yes.
That they have about this. You have to have the same level of respect for the Oxbridge porters as them. Like, if they respect you and they know you're not a threat to their establishment and the order that they keep and the happy running of everything, then you go on about your business. If not,
they sound much better than the police.
No, they are essentially the police.
Yeah, I mean, they actually do their job properly in the police.
Well, it's their job isn't actually that hard. They're kind of a throwback.
Shout out Barry and Lionel, like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just.
You guys don't know that Barry and Lionel were 2 of the porters at our college, and they were the nicest guys on earth. They caught me smoking weed and let me get away with it. They were top notch people.
They were absolutely great. My main memory of them is being in a complete panic, and we had a 24-hour library, so being in the library at like 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to actually do work at, like through the night instead of sleeping, and them literally turning up with cups of tea. They were great.
They were so nice. I mean, the head porter was an absolute dick, but that's another story. And going back onto Porterhouse Blue, that's exactly what David Jason's character plays, a complete dickhead of a porter.
Oh yeah.
Who basically feels like he runs the show. And then you've got a new master, so the new principal of the college, and he's decided he's going to renovate everything, and he's played by Ian Richardson.
Oh, okay.
You've also got people like Charles Gray. If you know, I don't know if you know who Charles Gray is. I suppose the most famous thing would be the Rocky Horror Show. He was the narrator.
That's what I can think of. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now.
But I mean, he's been in he played Blofeld in Bond films, for God's sake. He's a massive actor.
Yeah, he's been around. Yeah.
John Sessions, Griff Rhys-Jones. There's some amazing actors in this thing, and it's just the most ridiculous thing. I think you have more of an appreciation of it if you've been to these kind of institutions.
Yeah, you've been there. Yeah, you obviously
because you understand the way it works. I mean,
it's too close to the bone.
It's true, but my favourite thing is, and this is once again going off the TV show, which I truly recommend. Go and watch it. But we, as a college, we used to every other college in Cambridge used to wind up Peterhouse. By any time we were having any kind of sporting event against them, anything, we all referred to them as a Porterhouse rather than Peterhouse, and it drove them nuts. It was one of our favourite activities.
Oh man, my school days.
yeah, like I say, it's all about, it's a mixture of old traditions versus new traditions, and it's absolutely brilliant. And it's like I say, adaptations of that kind of humor are very difficult to do. The book itself, I laugh pretty much every second of. The TV show is a little more subtle, and it does it brilliantly. It's adapted it better than pretty much anything else. But Tom Sharp is virtually impossible to adapt, and Porterhouse Blue is just an absolute ripper. It's brilliant. So yeah, that's my first recommendation. Second one is going to one of my other favorite writers of all time, is Agatha Christie.
Oh.
Now, a lot of Agatha Christie stuff has been adapted, and I've watched most of it. But the book that she's famous, obviously, for Poirot and Miss Marple and all those things. But the book that's actually considered her best piece of work is a book called "And Then There Were None."
Oh, okay.
It's a group of 10 people who find themselves on an island, been invited by various people, all of them having the initials UNON, unknown. And they've all been invited, and they've been given different reasons for getting this, but when they arrive at the island, they can't get back off the island. So it's only when they get there they realise that they've all been invited under very different pretenses. And so basically it's about, there's only you don't know for sure, but there's only the 10 of them on the island, and one of them starts killing the others. And the whole reason they've been brought there is because all of them are guilty of a crime to some degree. And whoever the killer is bumping them off, and they're doing it according to a poem that they used to have, it's in every single room in this they're on this big house, the only house on this like small island, and in every single bedroom they've got this poem. So basically it was adapted by the BBC in 2015. It's got an amazing cast to it, but I'll give you a bit more background on the story. So basically they're all there, they're having dinner together, and then suddenly a voice starts booming through like from another room, and it's on one of those old speakers. Obviously this is set in the 1930s, and it's somebody basically telling them why they're there and what their crimes are. So you've got an ex-policeman who beat up somebody in the cells. You've got a judge who sent somebody down who he knew to be innocent.
Damn.
A guy who ran over a couple of children because he liked driving fast. And they've all done something, and some of it is none of them would ever be found guilty in a court of law. So it's like there's a doctor who was drunk and killed someone on the operating table, but nobody could prove that they were drunk or that they'd messed up because it was a dangerous operation. Things like that. So these are people who were never ever going to be punished for things they'd done, or they'd got like a really small punishment, like the guy who ran people over. It was an accident, and he got his license suspended for 6 months.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So basically, whoever the murderer is has gone, you know what? These people have not been punished enough for what they've done in their lives. And the whole idea is that as time goes on, initially they think, the first couple of people who die, you think, oh, that could have been an accident because it was innocuous enough.
Yeah.
But the first person chokes to death and you go, well, did he have an allergic reaction? Maybe. Next person just doesn't get up the next morning. Died in their sleep. Yeah. So potentially they could have not been murdered. You don't know. And then it starts becoming more and more obvious that somebody. So then they all start searching for the murderer on the island, and they as time goes on, they come to the realization there's nobody else on the island, so it must be one of them. And it's all about the tension of these people just not trusting each other whilst having to work with each other to find out. It's beautiful. It's absolutely
Among Us, the game, the TV show.
Apart from the fact that this is one of the most classic pieces of literature compared to a phone game. Sorry, I'm being very snobbish there. I do apologise.
Mine's like a Vincent Price movie.
Oh, I knew what I was doing when I said it.
Oh, no, I know you did.
I did it with full knowledge of what I was doing when I said it.
I know that's why I didn't let it go. So yeah, basically,
Yeah.
but what I'm going to do is just quickly, I'm going to give you the rhyme, and basically the killer is using the rhyme as like a way to kill people. He's kind of doing it according to the rhyme.
Yeah.
So it's on a place called Soldier Island, and it goes 10 little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked his little self, and then there were 9. First person to die, like I said, died of choking.
Yeah.
9 little soldier boys sat up very late. 1 overslept themselves, and then there were 8, which is exactly what happened again.
Oh, okay.
8 little soldier boys traveling in Devon, which is where the book is set. 1 said he'd stay there, and then there were 7. And there's one of the people kind of accepts quite early on that they're just going to die and that he's in the wrong and he should die. So it kind of works with that. 7 little soldier boys chopping up sticks. 1 chopped himself in half, and then there were 6. You can guess what happened to him.
Yeah.
6 little soldier boys playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung 1, and then there were 5.
Okay.
5 little soldier boys going into law. 1 got into chancery, and then there were 4. 4 little soldier boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed 1, and then there were 3. 2 soldier boys sitting in the sun. 1 got frizzled up. And 3 soldier boys walking in the zoo. A big bear hugged 1, and then there were 2. 2 little soldier boys sitting in the sun. 1 got frizzled up, and then there were none. 1 little soldier boy left all alone. He went out and hanged himself, and then there were none. And basically, that's essentially what happens. Is the book ends, well, sort of the TV. The TV show shows how it all happened. In the book, it's done that basically it's a complete mystery. The police arrive on the island after 3 days to find everybody dead. Nobody has survived.
Sounds like the show should end with the song Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy.
No, but
No.
just
That's Superman.
just no.
Superman did it.
Anyway, I'm just going to ignore that completely and plow.
The way he did that was fun.
So yeah, basically in the book, the police have no idea because they had like the diaries of people, because in those days people still kept diaries, so they were able to see how it went until like the last 3, and then they couldn't work it out. But everybody was dead, and that's fair enough. And then they receive a letter that was sent by the actual killer, who is one of the people who's dead. But but the cast is freaking amazing on this. And
It is getting watched immediately.
Yeah.
yeah, so you've got I think Charles Dance
Okay.
plays the judge. Sam Neill plays an ex-soldier. Miranda Richardson, Toby Stevens, Aidan Turner, all of these guys play major characters within the show.
Yeah.
And they're all flipping brilliant. It's so tense. It's so dark. It's a 3-parter. It's I think each episode's about an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
And it really draws it out. And it's so well done. It's one of the best. The book is amazing. This is one of the few adaptations that it's been adapted 5 or 6 times. I've seen all of the adaptations, and this is the only one that truly gets where the book was and makes you feel as uncomfortable as the book does. And it's because you've got people like Aidan Turner, who is just, when he plays Stone Cold Psycho, he plays brilliant Stone Cold Psycho. Yeah. But you don't know, he's kind of, you think he's a bit psychotic, but you're not quite sure with him. But that's true of loads of the characters. And it's like, it's a beautiful, well told story, because over time you find out what each person did that made them guilty. Yeah. So you see their backstory played out as well. And it's just, it's so worth it. Such a good cast. I cannot speak highly enough about it. And there's nothing I can add to that. Go and see it.
Go watch.
Yeah, basically, go watch.
I'm with it.
And that's me.
Okay.
Tom.
Okay. Beamed. Lovely. So, I'm bringing up the rear, not for the first time. Right. So, Talking about bringing up the rear, I wanted to talk about Bottom, which is
Oh my gosh, that
look at
segue.
the timing.
Segway!
Segues off the chart.
I have another one in a minute, but that's fine. So,
That segue was
Bottom
tight.
is a television. I will even interrupt my picks for dirtiness. Bottom is a British television sitcom from the 1993. No, hold on. Yeah, but it was early 90s, so it went for 3 seasons. It was created by Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mail.
Adrian Edmondson.
Thank you. I
Edmondson,
can't speak today. And Rick Mail. You guys might know him more for Drop Dead Fred in America. I don't know if he's that famous in America, but they're basically Edwards, Eddie, and Richie. They are two crude, perverted. I think they're crude and perverted flatmates. They have no jobs, little money. They live in Hammersmith. I didn't know this. They basically beat the shit out of each other. It's basically two absolute horrible people who just decide to beat the absolute living tar of each other with everything that is not nailed down in the flat. Basically, pans, chairs, everything. So I'm going to keep it short because we're running long. But I was wondering what you guys' favorite Bottom moments are. I know you guys know this show, right?
My personal favourite moments from Bottom are from Bottom Live.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say as well.
Talk about that then. What's your favorite part of Bottom Live?
When they completely plank.
What you mean is when Rick Mail forgets his fucking lines, as he does every fucking time.
Yeah. And when they
It's a
just
funny
completely
joke
stack
with
it
the
and
lights
both just lose it laughing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just you can actually go onto YouTube and there are just outtakes from their live shows of Rick Mail fucking up, basically. And
It's some of the
it's a running
funniest
joke.
shit.
But
He's so. They're both amazing improv comedians.
yes,
That's the
they were
thing.
both born for the stage. Yeah.
So like they don't. It doesn't matter to them. Like fucking up is just an opportunity.
Yeah.
Whenever you get to that level of talent, so that they do play it fast and loose with everything they do to do Bottom.
It's true.
Like it's the loosest of the shows that they actually have anything to do with.
But do you guys enjoy it though, like the TV show? Because there hasn't been another TV show like it since.
The TV show, like Dan said, Rick Mail and Adrian Emerson together are better live
Because they have more of an audience.
than they are. Those characters work better on stage. If
I wonder
that makes,
why.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got the entire box set of Bottom, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. But the live shows trump it all to hell.
I'm going to be honest with you. They're both shows are on a stage. What's the difference? Because they both have a studio audience. I've never seen the live shows, so
Yeah, but the TV show can be re-edited 19 times until they get the line exactly the way they want it. Whereas in a live setting, it's them just going for it.
They have to wing it.
Yeah, and
they have to keep going.
Yeah.
And if they stack it and if they mess up, they have to keep going. They have to find a way to keep going. And that's where the genius happens.
But, so not to hijack your thing for 2 seconds here, Ben. Bottom Live on Stage 2 was mid-90s. And it's absolutely brilliant. And basically the story of it is they end up nearly killing the Queen with a homemade firework that's made of Semtex.
To be honest, who hasn't wanted the old bitch at this point?
But
she's immortal. You're not going to manage it.
But the second half of the show is set in prison. And it's the two of them sharing a cell in prison trying to work out, number one, how they're going to stop Richie from getting raped by Mr. Big. And number two, how they're going to escape in general. But just before this show happened, I don't know if you remember this, there was an incident where Rick Mayall was doing a serious play about two people in prison with Stephen Fry. And Stephen Fry, who has quite serious bipolar, had a kind of break and ended up famously getting on a ferry and disappearing to Belgium.
Yeah.
He put on a berry, dark glasses, and fucked off and disappeared for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then finally reappeared. They did the show and it was all fine. But on about the 9th occasion of Rick Mayall fucking up in Bottom Live on Stage 2, Adrian Embassy finally goes, that's it, right, that's it, I'm getting my dark glasses, I'm heading to Belgium, just fucks off stage. And it's just things like that. Just right, that's it. Just leaves. And it's stuff like that. It's being. I suppose you'd say it's being woke these days, but it's yeah. It's the awareness, the playing with the audience, and it's just yeah. These guys are experts at it because you'll get a different reaction off an audience every night, and they play with it beautifully. They mess around with it. They have so much fun with it, and the show. Seriously, I would say watch Bottom Live on Stage 2. It's called the Big Number 2 Tour because they're not childish at all. And but if you're going to watch any of them, I will lend you Bottom Live on Stage 2. Watch it, and you'll see just how good they are as live performers.
Yeah.
So that was slightly more than 2 minutes. But...
Sorry, my apologies.
That's all right. It's good that you guys have latched onto it and that you enjoy it. Troy, what do you remember about the show?
Flipping hell, man. To be honest, what they said, because literally I haven't watched Bottom in so long. When they brought it up, I actually remembered some of it because I haven't watched it in so long. But all I remember is being funny. That's all I remember about that show. It's been so long. The only thing I remember about Rick Mayall was like literally, and just him alone is just mostly about his tales that he used to do back in the day. You know, in the armchair that show he used to do.
Yeah,
the Bottoms.
We spoke about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So
Rick Mayall's Grim Tales. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bottoms was just it was a great. All I remember just being funny, just me cracking up. I can't remember any one episode to be fair, or even the live stuff. I can't remember it at all. Literally, I just remember laughing. That's all I remember. Literally.
But that's not a bad thing.
Exactly.
Just remember it.
Literally.
That's there's
it's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like trying to say what's your favorite episode of Trigger Happy TV.
Yeah, it's like certain things you just can't do it.
It's impossible.
It's great timing. That's all I know.
Yeah, and so talking of bottoms and bringing up the rear, I now want to talk about Pose. Yes. Okay.
What?
No, I'm joking. No, but I wanted to talk about Pose, which is a very critically acclaimed show set from America. It's an American drama television series about New York City's African American and Latino LGBTQ and gender non-conforming culture scene, ballroom scene in the 80s. The second season moves to the 90s. I've only watched the first season so far. Have you guys watched this before?
No.
This is the first time it's ever like entered my field of knowledge in any kind of way.
Kind of Vogue business, Vogue, strike a pose, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it 10.
10.
Yeah, it's basically the best show I've seen this year.
Damn.
Okay.
It's obviously I've talked about the Drag Race before. This is before your time, Dan. There was a bit where I was talking about RuPaul's Drag Race quite a lot. This is where the scene got birthed in America. It's based on that. And it's just basically centers on it's basically about, how do I describe it? It's difficult to so the first season set in 87, 89. It's about some people. The main character is Blanca. She's the main character. She decides to leave the House of Abundance and start her own house of Evagenza or something. I can't say it. So she starts recruiting. It's basically a fashion walk. The ballroom is like a fashion walk off. The subject is blah, blah, blah. And they win trophies. There's houses with different dancers in it. But what it does mainly do is it deals with obviously the 80s AIDS, HIV, going through the gay community, and obviously it's a very strong black cast. It's like Black Panther. It's a big spotlight on black actors, and the 5 of the cast are actual transgender actors or actresses that I've never seen before. So it's just brilliant. It's written very well. It's from the guys who did Glee and American Horror Story, so
Ryan Murphy and them.
quality. Yeah, it's amazing. It's not. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of people with Drag Race, it's very loud, drag queens, rah. This isn't about that. It's about fashion. It's about the gay community, but it's a lot more serious. There's one scene that made me cry. There's a player called Pray Tell who is like the announcer, the MC for the ballroom. His boyfriend's in hospital with HIV, and he's and at one point just says, "How many more boyfriends do I have to take into hospital and never see them leave? And how many more? Why would I want to commit to another relationship after this? With this disease." It just feels like, COVID now is a scary time in the world. It kind of made me feel like I could relate to that a lot. And it makes you realize how much gay people and transgender people went through to get where we are now. But it does have some of the best lines ever. It's written by the guys who did Glee, so it is also funny. One of the best lines is, the most intelligent thing that's come out of your mouth is a penis.
I've actually heard you use that line before.
Yeah, I've stolen it from this show. But no, it's just generally a good show, and I wanted to highlight
Not
it.
directed at me. I hesitate to say. Don't hesitate to say.
No. I wouldn't. No. It's just a good line. The characters are strong, inspirational. There is one part though. There is a white character who just sticks out like a sore thumb in a show with a whole black cast. I kind of feel like they put a white actor in there just because it gives them a bit more mainstream. You could most probably yank the character out. I think he's not in season 2. It's Evan Peters, who's Quicksilver in the X-Men movies.
Why is he in it?
I don't. He has an affair with one of the girls, Angel. She still has her man genitals. It's a very interesting storyline because he's already a married character with a wife.
Well, actually, wait. I shouldn't even say that because Ryan Murphy usually has the same kind of people around him. So everything that's in there usually cast him in the same movies on TV shows.
That's not a problem. But it just feels like they put a white person in just to have a white person in it.
Yeah, he's always in Ryan Murphy stuff anyway. So
yeah, but I know that, but it just kind of.
If it's well written, then it's kind of like even if it was that, it's forgivable, and if it wasn't, then it just seems that way because we do have an overabundance of casting decisions and writing decisions that don't reflect storylines, but reflect trying to appeal to an audience they don't even know how to understand.
That's true, but it doesn't. It's well written. All the characters are there for a reason. They don't glamorize. They glamorize it, and the ballroom sequences are beautiful. Like me in Smug Mode, I'm always about the cats, fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I could be here for days talking.
The red carpet rundown.
Jesus Christ, it's beautiful. It's my favorite bit of Drag Race is when they do the catwalk bit. It's the same here. It's just fabulous, and I just love the energy. Even through they compete against each other. They actually support each other. Actually, they're not going to kill each other. They just want to be like fierce rivals. And I love that. At the end of the season, they're all sitting around a table having Chinese food to end the season. And it's lovely. And I'm going to watch season 2 soon. But I think it's a lovely show. It's given me the name of me and Troy's new podcast. Dan and Dom, who's Dom? Tom and Dan are doing a film one,
Tam and Dom.
action one.
Tam and Dom.
So we're going to announce this now. We don't know when we're launching these. They haven't got a name yet, or have you?
There's still a few.
We are still. We have some options, but we haven't figured it.
Hi. So me and Troy, I came up with the name of House of Animation. Me and Troy doing a podcast called House of Animation. But I got the name House of Animation from Pose. So I was like, oh, we can have that. We're not divorcing. We're still doing Syndrome and Smug Mode together. But like we said earlier, Dan and Tom have been friends since university. Me and Troy have been friends the same amount of time from our previous job. We just wanted to do a project under Syndrome separately, but we're still going to come together twice a week for Smug Mode and Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get rid of us that easy.
This is not a fucking divorce. And you might even see us.
You keep telling yourself that, Ben.
Oh my god.
Well, we already know Dan wants to have an eye on the Ghibli movie, so if me and Troy do a Ghibli movie, he will come across.
Yeah, definitely.
And if they do a film that I know what they're talking about, I'll come across as well. Still waiting, but
it shouldn't be too long until we start getting into some of the franchise films.
Okay.
Like, I'm thinking we're probably going to be doing the Harry Potter series fairly quick.
Yeah, that's going to be quite early up, yeah.
Yeah.
So fucking subscribe.
5 people.
Yeah, please
video.
subscribe.
Please
do share. Please get the word out.
Please, if you've got any suggestions for TV shows that you think we should be watching, please do email us.
Well, we've already got our friend Joypad Sticks, or as we know him, Boston. Hello there, sir. I bet you're in the air right now. Yeah, hello, sir. He said that we should do Cobra Kai.
We did. Cobra Kai. Troy did.
I talked about Cobra Kai before, though.
No, but you should do a special.
Developed since then.
Let's do a special, okay.
Well, he said we should do a special, and I think early next year, because Netflix have got it all up now.
I don't mind me. I love it. I love Cobra Kai.
I'm going to go watch it so that we can do like a little special. But we have to wait for it to finish. That's the only problem. But any more suggestions like that are welcome. Just come at us. We know you're out there. The views are doing good. Come and hit that red button. It's not a panic button. So you're getting.
And also, let's get the email out there before we finish.
Yes, because there you're getting in. We don't know when the other 2 podcasts are coming in, but you'll be given plenty of warning, and you're getting 4 podcasts a week soon. You lucky little fuckers. Now get on it, right? Tom.
Oh, you want the email address?
Yeah, he's rung the bell. Manservants.
Tom. Dan.
Will you shush?
No.
Square Eye Syndrome 2020 at gmail.com.
And if you're deaf, watch away. If you're deaf, you would be listening to this. We'll just put that in the feed in case you can't spell. We're not saying you're stupid, but we'll help you out. All right. So, well, that's. Are we good? We're done. In the bag. Finished.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yep. Hopefully, Dan and Tom will have a name for their podcast next week. We've got ours, House of Animation.
It's not a competition, Ben.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's never a competition. It's the same family.
I mean, it's just as well, because if it was, you wouldn't stand a chance.
Are we starting? The WrestleMania storyline now.
That's
How in a cell at WrestleMania? Little
if you can't see me, I'm doing the Street Fighter pose, the jumping.
Oh, right.
I will answer you with a Neo from the Matrix.
Dan, don't make me regret giving you on the shit, bro. Come on. Motherfucker. Right. So, it's goodbye from me. Dan. Fuck it right now. So, it's goodbye. Dan, fuck him.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Tom.
Goodbye.
Yeah. And it's goodbye from Troy.
Goodbye, guys. Subscribe.
All right. Goodbye from me as well. Fuck you, Dan.